Alright, so last go around we spent a lot of time on our hood. We'll still have a lot more time to spend on it. Got most of the dents out, most of the holes filled. Really just working on the fitment of it now. We started working on the rear corner here. Didn't turn out too bad. It is not perfect, but it's certainly a lot better than it was. Alright, so where does that leave us this week? A lot more body work. And I know that's kind of boring to watch. It's tough to film too because there's really nothing much but swinging a hammer and a dolly. And, you know, we didn't cut this one off because we really didn't need to. This one will definitely have to come off and go on the table. I'll probably film a little bit of making replacement pieces for that. We'll see. So that's a task for this time around. Also, we're going to break it up a little bit. I think we should start spraying some color. I want to get the steering column painted. I want to get the dash painted. And the main reason being, fellas, is I just have parts everywhere. We've got to start putting this thing together. I know I should wait till it's all painted to do it, but I'm quickly running out of room here. So we're going to have to, you know, put things together and then just mask them off if we need to do some painting around them. I got to get this mess cleaned up. We also have the gas tank that I talked about last time. We'll mock that up. So there's a whole lot going on the plate this time around. Let's just see how far we get with it. Okay, so before we got the party started this week, I had to stop and do some cleaning. I was just tripping over everything here. This is all the stuff that was in boxes and just piled up everywhere. I went ahead and did some cleaning. Got the place swept out. I know it doesn't look like it, but I did, okay. These are all the parts that have to go in this vehicle in the next couple of weeks if we're ever going to meet that August deadline. We got our new gauges, dimmer switch for the lights, lighting, a dome light. These are what we're going to use for tail lights. I think they're for like a 52 Chevy or something. These are our front blinker lights, marker lights. These are, I believe these are LED. New headlight switch, wiper switch, ignition switch. We got a new horn, fuel sending unit for our new gas tank. This is from the CJ7 70s era, I believe. We'll get underneath the truck and fit this up, and I'll show you guys what I'm thinking about how we're going to mount this thing. Transmission cooler lines. We got a new power steering pump, pulley, and hardware. We got a new fuel pump, a manual one with a push rod. There's a slight chance we may be able to make that work, but I kind of doubt it. And just in case if we don't, I've got a electronic fuel pump. Got an alternator that I've had, I think still works. Got the bracketing for that. Also went and bought a box of this kill mat sound deadener. It was like 60 bucks for a whole box of it. So it'll go a long way to quieting this tin can down, I'm sure. We're gonna have to kind of do what we have to do to keep this thing moving along and making progress. Oh, and there's one more thing I want to show you guys. I know I said I was going to make my own wiring harness this time around, but I found this thing on Amazon for like 70 bucks. I know I'm probably going to regret it, but I mean, you can't go wrong. It's a complete 21 circuit wiring harness, so I figured, you know what, for 70 bucks we'll take a chance with it. It'll save me a lot of time, and hopefully it was money well spent, but we'll find out. Alright, let's get things started this week by doing something more interesting than body work. I've been dying to see what this paint looks like on something. So I've got our steering column here set up. I'm going to go ahead and Scotch-Brite it down, clean it down with the wax and grease remover, hit it with some self-etching primer, and we're going to mix some of the emerald green metallic up. And I'm using the spray system that, if you watch the 46 videos, you see I've used this thing before for small batches. It's perfect to do stuff like this, you know, or maybe to spray just the dash out. These you can buy at you know, any home center for like, I don't know, $6 or $7. The way it works is you put the paint in the bottom and you got the aerosol on top, and it works out great for small projects. This particular paint is a single stage, and it requires an 8-to-1 mixture. Paint is the first one, the second one is the hardener, and then you could do another, the third one would be a reducer. This one doesn't really require one. It doesn't say that it needs a reducer, but we may just put a little bit in there, just, you know, to help it flow a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and get this thing cleaned up, Scotch-Brited, primed, and then we'll go ahead and mix our paint up, shoot it on there and see what it looks like, man. We scuffed up the steering column, hit it with some self-etching primer. Now we're going to go ahead and mix our paint up. Probably not the ideal method. According to what's on the can, you got about 3 hours to work with this. Get a light coat on it first. We'll let that flash off for like 10 minutes or so. Then we'll hit it again with a wet coat, and then again with a wet coat. Alright, that was our second coat. Looks pretty good, I think. A little heavier of a coat. It's laying on pretty good. No runs so far. She's looking pretty good. We'll let that sit up for about 10 minutes, and then we'll put our third coat on it, and maybe even a fourth, I don't know. We got enough to do it for sure. Alright, that's third coat. Looks pretty good. Started getting a little heavy right here. We've still got quite a bit of paint in here, and I don't want to waste it, so I went ahead and prepped up one of the window frames real quick, and we're going to go ahead and shoot that too. Alright guys, I went and hit the second coat on the window frame. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, I think. I like the color a lot. It's exactly what I was hoping for this Jeep. You can see that this did turn into a run. I was hoping that it wouldn't, but it did. No biggie, we'll just sand it out and retouch it up later. Overall though, real happy with the color. All the vehicles that I've redone, I've used this paint, single stage, from a company called TCP Global. Never had an issue with their products, so I'll probably stay with them. I'm going to go ahead and order the gallon because I'm pleased with it. I like the color, I like the way it lays out, and I think it'll look great on this Jeep. So the gallon kit comes with the gallon, single stage gallon with the hardener, you know, filters and whatever. $230, which I think is pretty reasonable. We actually had enough to hit the one seat frame that I had already sanded out and primed. So yeah. So this morning I went through and mocked in all the instruments. I took the door off the glove compartment on that side. This one didn't have one. We're going to put it on this side. Cut holes in it to accommodate our oil and temp gauge. Got our fuel gauge, got our volt gauge, got our headlights, wipers. I do have the ashtray. We're going to put a lighter in there. I don't have it yet, but that's what we're going to use to charge our phones with. These holes here, I think we're going to fill. I went and looked up online to see if they made a white-faced gauge, and they do not, but eBay does have a decal that goes on top of this. It's white-faced, and you can just stick it on here. So I think that's what we're going to do. They want like $30 for it, so I wanted to go with the white-faced gauges because, you know, obviously the exterior of this is going to be white, and this is all going to be green with the white-faced gauges. I think it'll look nice. What I'm going to do is make new glove compartment doors out of wood, oak, for here and on the other side. That'll give a nice contrast to all the white and green going on. We'll have some wood accents in here. I think it'll look really sharp. We are going to put wood on the floor as well. Some nice oak slats. So I think it'll look pretty cool when it's done. So I guess the next step is to dismantle all of this. Take the dash back apart, start doing body work on it, and hopefully we can get that sprayed by the end of this episode. Later on today we'll jump underneath the Jeep, see if we can't mock up that gas tank. I have an idea that it may work. May have to notch a little bit of the frame out, but I don't think that's going to be an issue because it's going to be at the very back of the Jeep and we'll reinforce it. I think that tank will probably work. So we're going to go ahead and test fit this gas tank. Basically going to go in the vehicle just like this. So I'm thinking if we can get it fitted up in there and we have enough room for our sending unit, it should be golden. We got some bungee cords. We're going to strap it up in there for now just to see if it fits, and then if it does, we'll go ahead and start making the preparations to properly install it. You can see up in there where the filler neck would go, we're almost in line with it. If we punched a hole in the frame right here, we could feed that filler neck right up through there, up into that hole. My only concern is the tank seems to sit a little bit low. We do have a gap here for our sending unit, so that would fit up in there. That's not a problem. And once we get our bumper on, the bumper is going to hang down to about here. So I'm thinking it'd be okay. It doesn't sit lower than the differential, so I think we're going to be good. And it's almost in perfect line with where we have to be with our filler neck. We always use a rubber filler neck hose for it. Clamp it together that way. I think it's going to work. But it was one of very few that I could find with the right dimensions and the hose outlets in the right spot. Just so happens that it was a Jeep tank. So anyway, I think that's what we're going to run with. It shouldn't be too hard to get it up in there. I do have some old straps that I took off the S10. So we're utilizing a lot of this S10. So the investment in the S10 I think was well worth it. Originally just got it for the chassis, but as it turns out, we are able to utilize a lot of the pieces off it, a lot of the metal off it, and that's really good. Alright, so we're back out here on the old 55. There has been a change of plans. Yep. Originally I said we were going to cut this quarter panel off to repair it. I've decided no, we're going to leave it on to repair it. We're going to have to cut it off when we can afford to get new quarters anyway, so I think we're just going to repair this one in place. I think it'll be a lot quicker and a lot easier to repair it in place. We are going to have to figure out how to make this panel or something close to it. This is another huge issue too here, where it got peeled back like a tin can. This is the same thing they had on the front that we took off to try to repair. And I got to thinking maybe we could just eliminate these things and just, you know, finish it flush. Just cut this one off and then just finish it flush. You know, this is obviously bent. Of course it is bent. You know, everything on this truck is bent. But as it would sit on here, I believe this is raised a little bit. It's raised slightly on this panel. When the door is fully closed, you could probably float that out straight. I'm thinking, I mean, there's just no way. It's just be so much easier to put a straight piece of metal in there than it would to try to remake something like that. That way we can get the whole side of this truck put together and finished like the driver's side. Alright, so we're back at it again. This morning we got the pattern that we made from the other side taped up onto this quarter. What I want to do now is get a mark from the pattern onto the quarter panel so that when we cut this piece out and form a piece of metal from our pattern, we'll know exactly where it's got to go on here. Basically just going to take the squarest mark I can off of the side of this filler neck and we got a mark on our pattern where we need to cut that. And I want to cut it as a straight piece. We'll come in like, an inch and a half, I guess, off of that bead. That way this will be a straight piece of metal instead of starting in a curve. We can do the curve afterwards. I just want to get this one flat piece of metal in here, you know, get the bead rolls in it and try to replicate this body line. You know, hopefully I can tighten the bead roller down enough to get the right depth. I don't know, we'll have to see. Alright, so we got our pattern laid out on the table. All we're looking to do is this piece of metal right here. We're still using the metal that we salvaged from the S10, by the way. This line here will line up with this here. So basically, we're trying to replicate that. We'll be right on the edge of that. And then of course the edges of this will get bent over. I'll go as deep as the bead roller will let me go. I don't know if it'll be exactly like that, but we're going to give it a try. So these are the two largest dies I have for making edges. This looks like it would probably be deep enough. What we need to do here is this edge needs to be recessed down in. Alright, well we got it to roll in there, and it looks like it might be close. Yep. I think that's about as close as we're going to get. This would be a whole lot easier if it was electric. I know I've said that before, but sure would. My eyes aren't what they used to be, trust me. I did pick this thing up off of Amazon, this bead roller. I want to say it was like $80. It was less than $100. As long as you have some patience. You can see it did okay. What we're trying to accomplish here, I think we can make that work, you know. So let me change the dies out and see if we can get these bead rolls in here. If I screw this up, we're gonna have to make a whole new panel. All right. Let me get this thing cleaned up. We'll get these edges bent down. We'll get the old metal cut out of there, and we'll test fit this baby up, see what we got. All right, sanded her down. We got a little primer on her. It's a little wavy. It's a little off right there. But like I said before, it's hard to hold it straight and crank that wheel at the same time. It's going to work for us. It's certainly better than what's on there. All right, we'll line up our marks here. We got some spot welds we got to cut out of there. It ain't gonna be perfect, fellas, but it's gonna be a heck of a lot better than it was. That much I can tell you. So we're gonna go with that. I guess the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time, huh? That's what they say. Alright, so we got our pieces all cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and start tack welding this on. My thoughts are, once we get this piece in place, then we can build off of it, the back and the front of it. I'm going to go ahead and grind down what's there, get some fresh metal going, and see if we can finish this up, man. Well, our piece wasn't quite long enough to do the whole thing, so we'll have to patch that part in. But basically, we're just gonna cut right on that body line and weld down. Of course, we gotta put some relief cuts in the bottom of this and bend it over, but at least we'll get the metal patched up. All I really do is put a bunch of relief cuts in this, and I'm just using these flat nose dikes to bend the metal over. You know, it's probably not ideal, but it does work. This V-bore 36-inch brake, if you're doing this kind of work, don't waste your money on it. This can't be more than 22 gauge metal, and it won't even bend it. So if you're looking to do automotive work, do not buy that brake. We'll say that for the $80 I spent on the speed roller, I'm not unhappy about that, but I am unhappy about the money I spent on this. So just an FYI, I know my opinion doesn't mean much, but you know, if you're thinking about it, don't waste your money on this one. That's not to say if you're going to use it for very light metal or aluminum, it's probably okay for that, but for the metal used in these old vehicles and you're trying to replicate that, it's not the brake for you, I don't believe. But that's just my opinion, like I said. So save your money and buy a good one. Alrighty, let's see what we got. I want to say that fits pretty good. We got to trim a little bit more off the top here, it looks like. But all in all, not a bad fit. Alright, all the old metal's cut out. Got the new piece knocked in. I think we should probably start at this side and work our way this way, that way we can move it up and down if we need to. We have a few patches we have to do, no biggie, but I just wanted to get the main part of the structure in here. Alright, so we got this one welded in. Most of this done. Got some mud on it, shaping our body lines. She's far from perfect, but she looks a whole lot better than that. Certainly think so. So the weather's been really hot here in Kentucky. I think we're going to take a break from this body work and jump on something a little bit different. Alright, so I've been working on this dash on and off in between projects, and I think I got it just about ready to spray. So I think we're going to go ahead and mix up some paint and shoot the dash, man.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I've been rolling in since the clock came Monday morning. From the I'm about to blow. So come on now, man, if you play me none of them slow songs. I need boots, scooting, barn, burning, hill, raising, get up and go songs. But give me something hot, just give me all you got. Now let's give old Luke Miller a try. Go ahead.
Okay, 3 coats on. I think it looks pretty good. Best part is we didn't get any runs in this one. Not that I can see yet anyway. She's gonna look pretty good when she's done. Well, I think you guys know if we took it this far with the paint, we'd have to do a little bit of a mock-up. So she's looking pretty good, I think. It's gonna look really sharp. Nothing's bolted in yet. The cages are just set in there. Really digging the color. I think it looks pretty good. She's a heck of a lot better than what we started off with. Didn't get as far as I wanted to get this week. It's been really hot here. Still trying to figure out what we're going to do for hinges on this thing. They really don't sell them aftermarket, so we might have to do something custom. Next week, we're still working on the passenger side. We got to get the fender extension finished. We got to get that rear quarter finished. Maybe start working on the doors as well. Possibly painting the top half of this Jeep the white, like I talked about. I don't know yet. It's going to depend on the weather. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Know anybody that might be interested in this build, take a minute and share the video with them. And until next time, man, take it easy.